If you don't answer me, I'm going back to sleep.
Besides how the body heats.
I'm gonna have to let it go. Oh, I miss you so. Won't you pick up?
Everybody, we got it fixed. Good morning. Fall season 2018.
Wake up,
Pack Stereo TV.
Day. Let's get down on the good news train.
Yes.
Have your morning coffee with Mario every Monday. Get the 311 before the morning's done. Laugh until you cry. You can always rely on morning coffee with Mario every Monday. Morning coffee with Mario.
Welcome, everyone. Hey, like I've warned you that when we've been off for a while that everything seems to be crazy. And once again this morning, and I got to tell you, I'm not going to lie. This was human error this morning. Human error, you guys. I'm just rusty. I didn't hit, I'm going around looking for connections to be, but I just had the thing working, and it turns out I forgot to hit one of the buttons. Everybody, what can I say? Let me. So anyway, thank you. Good morning, everybody. We are live. Thank you, Candace. Thank you, Serena. Thank you, PMC. Thank you, everybody, for hanging us. Pack Stereo, we are citizen journalism at its finest. We are you. We represent the regular folks in the community going live with broadcasting. And like we say, we may not be in the ghetto, but we can see the fence. So we are part of that, and so we use the same connections, and that's part of the experience. I'm attempting to show you what you can do as part of being a broadcaster. So anyway, but welcome back for the fall season. It's a wonderful time, you guys, but it's a lot of politics. Take a look. I got on my shirt, my Kaepernick support shirt. Supposedly the money went toward the something with the Kaepernick stuff, but it says believe in something even if it means sacrificing everything. Just do it. So I want to tell you guys, give it up for that, and it's that kind of okay, so we've been off, and since we've been off, a lot of stuff's been happening. I got to give you a quick summary because people have been communicating, I've been communicating, because in the time that we've been off, I've been continuing on this journey. And I got to give a lot of thanks to all the friends out there on Facebook, all the friends and family that have been taking care of me. My good buddy Victor Allen here has been helping me with my rehab. But yeah, I had the big back surgery. It's one of the big ones on August 8th, 3 levels. I had what they call a laminectomy, where they actually remove my vertebrae right in the middle, parts of my spine. They did it on 3 levels. And I'm proud to say, take a look at this. Take a look. Now, I may not be able to jump up and down, but I can still shake my hips in a heathen rhythm. As you can see, the booty's got a little bit of flexibility. It needs some workouts. But hey, Vic, I'm going to show them. Y'all ready to see the scar? Y'all ready to see?
Yeah, you gonna do the close up, bro? Oh yeah. I'm not gonna get too close, man. Oh damn, crack. Damn.
Oh, this is a crack, that's an old crack.
Oh damn.
There you go. There it is. I showed you. I don't care. So that's 3 levels of my spine. Give it up, you guys.
Pretty good, man.
3 levels. Hey, successful surgery, because Vic will tell you.
Yeah, man.
He's been working with me a long time, and Vic will tell you there's been some days when I've been searching. I walk from the house to the studio, and I'm looking for that chair. So
yeah. No. You have a deep appreciation for Tiger Woods, right?
Oh man, Tiger.
Oh.
Tiger got it easier than me.
I know. He had fusion back surgery. So that's why I said.
Mine had already fused.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it.
That shows you why, I didn't need the fusion.
Right.
They said mine had already fused.
Right.
But yeah, I do relate. And for all those people with chronic pain, that's one of the things I'm going to be talking about today. Because one of the stories today, when we do Marijuana for Dummies, the topic for today is about kratom, which is a new natural pain reliever that's getting a lot of discussion because people are using it to sort of wean themselves off of their opiate addictions.
Right.
So we're going to talk about kratom today. Also, I'm going to, in the news section, Vic, I'm going to be talking about the Pentagon. I'm going to be talking about, well, that was one of the stories that they released a report that says they've got a number of facilities where they have 500 plus sexual assaults a year. I'll say that again. The Pentagon released a report that said they have a number of military facilities that have 500 plus sexual assaults per year.
Wow.
So we're going to talk a little about that. We're going to talk a little bit about the Catholic Church scandal. It's a lot of sex. And then, of course, the confirmation hearings on Kavanaugh for the Supreme Court. I'm going to give you a different insight that really says how a Kavanaugh confirmation would be the beginning of a GOP nightmare. So that's what's coming up in news today. Wow. So, what can I say? What about you, Vic?
Oh, mine is kind of cooled down. It's a little bit easier, man. I'm gonna hit the sports. Everybody already kind of know that. Already told you about the Tiger Woods kind of inserting that he has made it all the way back, and to compare why that is such a great achievement. It's one thing to do it when you're at advanced age. It's another thing to do it after surgery and then do it within a year, although it's been a 5-year break. Also, we're going to talk about, is there an alert out there? I call it urgency, wake up call, celebrate, or no big deal. We're going to talk about the Rams because we are the local product fan base of the Rams. And since they are number one, do you believe? Gruden's Raiders, for all you Raider Nation fans. I didn't mean to sniff. I just see how much patience you guys have. Right now, it seems like you're on a winning streak. Others, Belichick's Patriots, the student teaches the master, of course. A winless team goes in and says, let me spank that ass. Pittsburgh Steelers, you know what? It just seems like everybody's about to do their own thing. Going over to Hot Picks, this is going to be celebration and recognition of a pageant that will be without the swimwear. And so I guess a couple of questions that lead into what's the pinnacle of success, the ultimate success? Miss America or Miss Universe? Which one stirs the pot as the all-time greatest pageant? And how do you use the correlation when you all of a sudden remove a segment from it? And will everybody tune in? And is it a game changer? That's all I got, man.
Man, that was pretty good, dude.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying.
Hey. Well, a bunch of stuff's been coming up on Facebook, and I've been putting some postings on Facebook. I want to say one, when it comes, where it is. Here we go. PMC, one of our super fans, Philip Cuthbert, he finally got his Pack Stereo jacket. He had lobbied for that jacket for some time. And there he is, and he had lobbied. So finally, PMC, he got his jacket. Everybody give it up to him.
Go up a little bit more. I want to see a little bit more of that window, man.
That's all it is?
That's okay. But
hey, PMC, you didn't want to send us a picture showing his midriff.
you're not wearing it.
Midriff.
Right. That's wrong.
But yeah, as I'm going to be, we sent out a few things, and it's wonderful. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
I wanted to show you a picture. I put it. Oh, here it is. There it is. This picture of the Kardashian kids because. A lot of stuff, they've been getting a lot of flack, and I've been reading a bunch of people's comments on these kids. But you know what, I have to say something. These babies are beautiful, Vic.
Yes, they are.
These babies are beautiful. Just recently, I had to laugh because I guess Kim Kardashian had her daughter walking the red carpet.
Okay.
And see if they had some other. Oh, there she is. There's the picture.
Right.
Of her walking the red carpet. Beautiful. Beautiful. You got to give it up, you guys. That was beautiful. Got to give it up for the Kardashian kids because, so much flack, these days with people mixing.
It's just a minority
Everybody-
hateration group. Just they hate, man. Don't worry, it's minority.
I don't know about y'all,
Small.
but my Thanksgiving table is diverse as hell. We got so many different groups represented, religions. We got Muslims and Jews. We got Catholics. We got Mexicans. We got black folks with whatever mix they are.
Yeah, usually when you see as beautiful as that child is, and then you start going, most of the ones that are hating, not putting a face on it. So I believe in the bot nation. A little bit.
I say
behind it. Stand up. If you're gonna stand your ground and criticize somebody, put yourself on video. Stop hiding behind the desktop, bitch.
There you go.
I'm sorry, I had to go there.
Hey, well, I predict this too. They all gonna be good looking.
Hey.
So if I could just get me a Kardashian cousin,
Hey.
with one with a little bit of money. So I'd say if I could just get a Kardashian cousin, it would be wonderful. What can I say? Okay, so you guys, the news is going to be hot today, so we want to invite you to tune in and stay there and be there for all those sections. In the marijuana for dummies section, like I said, it's going to be good, and we'll be talking a little bit about the stuff we're smoking today, and it's wonderful. All right, so music, we always have free music for you every week. This week is no different, and of course, I'm looking for always to give you something. Where is it? Give you something. Remember, this music, you can get it free. You can get it free. All of the music that we play here at Pack Stereo is Creative Commons music, which means that it's available for you for free. You can get it free and pass it around to your friends, and the artists retain their right for any commercial use. We'll be right back with the news. Till then, enjoy this one. This thing's out about the heat. What's happening? David and Marvin. Jack.
I have the world inside my hands, so full of our hopes and dreams and plans. You came and gave to me your everything. But just as quick as you came, it seems you're gone. Now could it be something I did wrong? Oh, baby, please, I need you next to me. Yeah. Come back to me. Come back to me. Come back. Come back. Oh, so baby, come back to me. Come back to me. Baby, come back. We were supposed to touch the sun. We were the two turned into one. So how do I live this life with you gone away? Yeah. Now too many nights have passed me by, and too many mornings fill my eyes. Still wet with the tears that I cry for you. Oh, come back, baby. Yeah. Come back to me. Come back to me. Oh, come back to me. Come back to me. Come back. Baby, come back. Yeah. I once believed that I was strong, a man afraid of nothing. I had the world inside my hands. That's what I told myself. But now I see see that I was wrong. The truth is I have nothing if I don't have you. So baby, come back to me. Come back to me. Come back. So baby, come back to me. Come back to me. Come back. Now too many nights have passed me by, and too many mornings fill my eyes, still wet with the tears that I cry for you. Come back, baby, yeah, yeah. To me. Come back to me. Come back to me. Oh, baby, come back to me. Come back to me. Come back. Oh, so baby, come back to me. Come back, baby, come back. Yeah. So baby, come back to me. Come back to me. Oh, we were supposed to touch the sun.
Yes, gotta love that track. Oh man, that's Love Shadow, and you'll find that we feature Love Shadow extensively here at Pack Stereo TV. Remember, I told you, dig.ccmixter.org is where you go get that free music. All right, so y'all ready for some news? You ready for some news? Yes, it's that time. The time you've been waiting for. The good news. The bad news, and the other shit. Ladies and gentlemen, the good news, the bad news, the other shit. It's good to be back with this, even though it's always seeming to be bad news, at least troublesome news. And today is no different. We're glad to be back for the fall season 2018, and we've got a bunch of things to talk about. One of the things is the ongoing amounts of sexual scandal in the world. You know, when it comes to the Catholic Church, for example, where does it stop? Whole countries.
Amazing, isn't it? Wow.
And this is an ongoing issue, and when I say when it seems to be this many as 10% of the priests involved in some of this activity, it's just amazing. What is going to happen? What is going to happen to the Catholic Church? And so the world today is rife with sexual scandal. I just got a report, I got it somewhere here, that the Pentagon released a report that says they have a number of Pentagon facilities that are experiencing greater than 500 instances of sexual
Victor
assault
Allen, greetings
a year.
and welcome.
Greater than 500. I think I posted it on Facebook, Vic.
Really? Okay.
The article. I'm trying to get everything out there on Facebook when I put these things out. I'm going to see if it's up there too. But 500 instances of sexual assault per year at some facilities. So that is amazing. That is amazing stuff. And so is it really, really the norm that sexual assault is like that? That gets us to the whole Kavanaugh thing where he's being accused. Now a second accuser's come out. And some of the GOP has been trying to make excuses for him. You know, some of them saying things is like boys will be boys. Let's make this statement for the record. It is not the norm for teenage boys to sexually assault.
Victor Allen,
women.
another day in paradise.
Agreed.
There are a lot of sexual assaults that occur, but that's not boyish activity.
Right.
Nor would be killing animals and
No.
you know, poisoning the cats in the neighborhood. All of those things would mean that your child that you're making excuses for may be the next Jeffrey Dahmer. But so we are faced today with a world where it's time for change. Now let me tell you, I want to remind you that as bad as it seems, these kinds of things are good for society, because when you have these kinds of issues come up, when you have these kinds of confrontations, that's when society is moving forward. I can tell you, same way as it goes to racism, sexism, when I was a kid, it was a standard. It was everywhere. It was part of pop culture. Everything from whistling at women walking down the streets to the fabled "Hey Mama." remember that one, you guys? Hey Mama.
Right.
I mean, these things are part of our culture, but hopefully we've grown. I know I've grown as a man. I behave certainly differently. You watch your mouth. You don't make as many sexist statements. I don't believe the same things. Mainly because I had the privilege of being trained as a physician by many women. In the pediatrics program at LA County, I had women attendings probably more than I had male. Okay, and specifically the ladies who taught me how to run ventilators for the babies were women. The head of the nursery, the neonatal intensive care unit, was a famous woman. So I was trained by women. I certainly learned the value of women, starting with my mother, who I couldn't even outrun her until I was in like the 10th grade. So the world is moving forward. And I think it's time for us as men to stand up to and be counted. These are our mothers, our sisters, our women, our friends, our co-workers, and they deserve to be treated as professionals and not to be harassed. I can remember an incident when I had a party and people got drunk.
Yeah.
And I think I can remember an incident where the vultures were hovering around.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
You could have an event and people would get drunk and
Yeah.
you would see some of the vultures
Right.
come out.
True.
And I was like, clear, not at my house. Not at my parties. No. It's a zone of consent.
Right.
So it's out there. It's out there for us to stand up to. It's out there as men for us to say to other folks, no. And you know, alcohol is the great excuse. Alcohol is the great excuse for people to get drunk and then have sex. Or so they think. Or they don't remember. Or they don't know. So there is part of the problem too. So we have a lot going on today. I had to mention that whole thing because everything that's happening as it relates to the Supreme Court confirmation sort of takes us back to other issues, right? It takes us back to she's claiming
Right.
that a drunken Kavanaugh assaulted her.
Right.
And then there's another female who's come forward.
Yeah. Number 2. Yo, okay. All right. Wait. Hey. Look. Okay. See, I don't want to see. They always say, "Well, Victor, you don't come from that club. You're just hating, right?" So if you come from Yale and Harvard, you don't question higher education and the practices and what people do. It's supposed to be set apart from everybody else, right? It's supposed to be exceptional, right? But aren't we talking about learned behavior and sometimes acquiring a kind of an example you see amongst others, entitlement, the whole thing, you know? But I'm not blaming the whole institution. I'm just saying when you have a certain amount of power and you are an overachiever, you are some place where you know, hey, I don't want to put this in their mouth, I'm not saying godlike, but when you go to Yale and Harvard, okay, what is the reputation at hand? Now, I would say for the most part, most of those who attend, excellent, applaud all day, okay? But you and I know this.
Well, all those old famous places always are full of racism and sexism.
Okay.
Shit, that's a standard. I mean, racism and sexism is as American as an apple pie. That is America, always has been America. They don't like to admit that, but that is America.
I'm just glad you're standing up. That's.
Well, I'm glad they're standing up, and another thing. I hate to say it like this, but I'm just glad. If the victim had been a working class black or Hispanic person, it would be totally different. I hate to say it, but I feel glad that at least it's a professional person that they have to treat with some respect. It's a professional white woman, which means they have to treat her with a different respect than they treat a professional black woman or a professional Latina. See? So, because it is a white woman and a professor, and also a graduate of these prestigious institutions, because of those things, she has a different credibility. But what if she wasn't? What if she wasn't those things? What would be the level of credibility that we would give her? It would be very different, I think. So here we are in a different situation. And people are upset because the Republicans appear to be trying to push through this confirmation ahead of the midterm elections. They want to get it done. They want to push it through. And so people are trying to resist and fight this in every way they can, which I understand and I embrace. But it still may happen that Kavanaugh's confirmed. So I took a little time. I took a little time to think about this, as I so often do late at night when my parents aren't home. I took a little time to think about this, and I had some different ideas because I was thinking and then watching TV, and one of the commentators said, I can't remember who it was, but they said, Supreme Court members can be indicted. And at that moment, my dream changed, and my daydream went forward in a different zone, and it became sort of obvious to me that a Kavanaugh confirmation could actually be a GOP nightmare. People say, what do you mean? Let's imagine that he is confirmed. Let's imagine, because they say they have the votes. The pressure's on for people not to vote for the confirmation, but supposedly they have the votes. So if he does get confirmed, let me tell you, if he gets confirmed, I'm predicting a media circus, because the folks that be Professor Ford, they're going to sue him. They're going to do both. They're going to do civil court. There's no statute of limitations on sexual assault. So can you imagine someone being newly appointed to the Supreme Court and within the same weeks or month indicted for rape? Imagine the Republican fallout for that one, Vic, where you would have ongoing. How long would it last? 6 months, a year? How long would you have that as a news item?
Oh, we can put on a bet if you want. Let's do this. Percentage that there is a number 3.
There's 2.
What bet? What's the percentage? Because right now,
I would say it looks like a good bet.
So here's where you go. They're all hunkering down, right? They are going like this. We could handle 1. 2 is a big deal. 3.
3's a lifestyle.
Oh, brother.
So I'm predicting. So let's see what happens. If it doesn't, the best thing that could happen, think it through now. The absolute best thing that could happen would be for Kavanaugh to resign or remove himself from, consideration. That would be the best because you would have a flurry of media activity. Republicans would try to find another nominee, but the news would kind of settle down a little bit more. Okay, that's why that's the best. If he gets confirmed, the next thing I told you happens. He gets taken to court in a variety of ways by the forces that be. And that'll be a GOP nightmare. Worse than any situation they could ever imagine. And like Victor just said, if a third one comes forth, woo-wee.
Can't fight it, man. It's
Woo-wee.
You almost go. It's one of those cases where you sit there and said, I just got inebriated or drunk for one night, never before and never after. So that's what the hope is that this was just one of those simple dares and he got out of control and it wasn't right, it was wrong, and it was assault if it is true. But typically there's a pattern of behavior when you tend to say, I indulge in the happy juice. And if that is confirmed, then you start looking at the percentages of the next one coming. And so to me, no one can confirm that he is what they call a casual drinker. None of this is...
Elise was getting drunk as a young man.
Wait.
He was at least getting
wait
drunk.
a minute. Okay, let me ask you this, Mark. Let me ask you this.
Victor never got drunk. I've been knowing this man. He might have a glass of champagne once in a while.
I will never say never. There was a celebration. I experimented.
I had never even seen you
high.
Yeah. Nothing.
I made a promise. I had to figure it out because so many people were having a good time. That shows you how the ignorance I had. And growing up, I said, everybody's, drinking, and they are feeling good. And I'm going, when I turn 21, I'm going to be over the safety of a friend's house, and I'm going to say this is true because it can't go away. I said, give me that Bacardi. It was 151. I said, I'm going to see what it feels like when everybody's happy.
Where was this? See, I ain't never seen Victor. I've seen him have one half a glass of champagne every 3 to 5 years. So, and I know him for a long time, so I don't remember no 151.
No, hey, look, this is a little bit before. Before I met you, and the reason I know because there's a couple of people out there is going to say, Mario, he did.
Dwayne Jones.
Dwayne was there. Dwayne Jones.
He's a culprit himself.
Right, and another friend of mine won't put out there. All I know is, Lord have mercy, I couldn't figure out why people want to go this far. And did I get sick? Yes, I did. And that was it. So for me,
did you get drunk?
Yeah, terribly, man. Terribly.
And how do you relate to that experience? Did it make you want to fornicate?
No, because when you get sloppy, you skip over the other part because what you're trying to figure out why the Earth axis is spinning faster than normal. All those things are happening to me. So I got way past that. I just went straight into, I can't really walk. And that's it. I can't.
Well, you didn't think of raping anybody at that moment,
No,
did
man,
you?
never even.
Unfortunately, everybody when they get drunk, this is the truth too. Not everybody dreams of raping people when they get drunk.
Right.
It ain't their first thing. Oh, I'm drunk. Let's rape somebody.
Right.
Sexually assault. Some people want to get drunk, and watch old rom-coms.
Yeah.
Yeah. So not everybody gets drunk and attacks somebody. So anyway, the drum continues. Remember, this is going to play out. We will be here on Thursday. I'm going to look at some kind of a way to see if I can do some bunch of postings during the Senate hearings that are supposed to be going off this Thursday with both Professor Ford and Kavanaugh. So we will see. And remember, when it comes to the outcomes, should there be a confirmation, you heard it here first. Ladies and gentlemen, the good news. All right, the good news, the bad news, bringing up shit as we so often do. Coming up, one of the good things coming up is some of the stuff we're expanding. For example, I'm adding this People Watch section, Vic, where we look at some of the folks, and just taking a look at my latest People Watch.
All right, I got you.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
Priyanka Chopra. Take a look at that. Oh, she's bad now. And then, of course, one of the Kardashians, Courtney.
Oh, wow.
Courtney.
Yeah, they got you as a wonderful fan and supporter, right?
I'm telling you.
Right. It's okay, man. It's okay. Hey, look, they're successful.
Hey, now I'm looking at my stuff. We're going to play, man. I guess Vic, we've had some changes.
True that.
So I want to play for you the latest slideshow animation. However, it's not here. So let me tell you what we do. We have slideshow animations, and I'm going to play one for you right now. This one features the photography of Victor Allen. Let's go to Animoto, where I make these, and play the latest slideshow for you guys. We'll be right back with Marijuana for Dummies coming up next.
Been a long time since I spoke to you.
Victor Allen had one experience drinking overkill. Never again.
You put me through. So I take your promises and all the memories, and I play them back 'cause I can't breathe. But you are so captivating. And you are the answer to my dream. You are the only reason, and I know I fall to pieces when you speak. And you are so captivating, and you are the answer to my dream. You are all
Victor
around
Allen,
me.
cool music.
And I know I fall to pieces when you speak to me. The times you came and you went away, I have learned to love no matter what you say. Though the world's a stage and we are standing round, we can change the way we live right
Besides sound of body heat. Know you liking that photo slideshow animation. Music again by Love Shadow. You know, I have the pleasure of doing those, and thank goodness we're gonna have more coming up, because now that we're back in session, Vic's gonna be taking some more pictures.
Oh, that's a good one.
Right? So then
Yeah.
every time Vic does some pictures, then I do slideshow animation.
Yeah, with the help of Miko as well. Miko Williams gets in behind the photography also. So she be bringing those talents, man.
Well, almost whenever there's a picture of Vic, Miko's the one taking it.
Yeah.
And if there's a picture of Victor and Miko, then I'm the one taking it.
There you go. All day.
So, you know, that's the way it goes. But and we'll be bringing those to you more and more coming up. Got to remind you, tomorrow night, Tuesday night, we're going to have the return season opening premiere of The Quiet Storm. I'm working on a whole special playlist for you. So be there tomorrow night at 8 o'clock for The Quiet Storm. Good music, sexy vibe, as we take you on one of those musical journeys. A show that's named after the show that was started at Howard University, which was once the number one show in Washington, D.C. area. Are you guys ready to talk about some weed?
Times are a-changing, but some things stay the same. You start each morning with a cup of coffee every day. Maybe hit the snooze, turn on the local news, but nothing good comes from a one-sided point of view. Marijuana for dummies. Come for the info, stay for the reefer. Marijuana for dummies. Come for the info and stay for the reefer.
Yes, come for the info and stay for the reefers. Welcome everyone to Marijuana for Dummies, the show that attempts to resist the miseducation of marijuana. And I get to host this. Mario Hemsley, a little bit about my background. I went to medical school at USC. I went to undergrad at a HBCU, Howard University, the Mecca. Then I attended medical school at University of Southern California. Trained at LA County in pediatrics, where I went on to be a member of faculty, run the pediatric ICU, board certified, then 30 years completed at Kaiser Permanente as a pediatric hospitalist, taking care of all the inpatients, backing up the ER, also the NICU, neonatal intensive care unit. So, I am also a medical marijuana user and proponent. I've had a long history of chronic pain from a variety of things, mostly related to my back, but I've also had 2 rotator cuff surgeries, one on each shoulder. I recently had major back surgery for over 11 years of chronic pain from that. And so I'm a medical marijuana supporter, and it has helped me a lot in dealing with these things. Now, as part of today's talk, we're going to talk about something a little different, which is kratom, which is a natural component which people are talking about. It's one of the new miracle drugs. But before we do any of that, as is my practice, I love to share with you at Marijuana for Dummies what the latest stuff I'm smoking. Now, what I'm smoking now is Wedding Crashers. You guys, take a look at Wedding Crashers. It's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful piece. And let me go live with this. Wedding Crashers. We got the live 360 going too, you guys. There we go. So take a look. It's a wonderful strain. You know, they call it a sativa. Okay? You know, this is another one that everybody calls a sativa that I think is more of a hybrid, at least in terms of the way it feels. It is, they say sativa, but it has some little heavier qualities, but certainly it's a wonderful morning smoke. and I try to tell people functionally the difference is there are those things that you like in the morning with your coffee as part of embracing the day, getting going. And so you don't really want to be slowed down. You're not trying to get, to have that kind of smoke that's going to pin you to the chair. And so usually in the mornings, especially if you're like me, when you want to have like a meditative moment and everything's very nice like that, then you want a sativa. And I have to tell you, this Wedding Crashers is wonderful. One of my good buddies loves it so much. He called me up and said, because I gave a little bit, when you visited. And he said, oh man, that Wedding Crashers is wonderful in the morning. I said, that's because you're such an asshole in the morning.
Wow. Wow.
He's one of my buddies, but that's the way he is. He's one of those people, when he wakes up, he can be a little bit irritable person,
Right.
Because he would have to come out and do some work sometime in the morning. He's irritable.
He's a grouch.
He's a grouch.
Got it.
But so those people, if they get up and have a little smoke, this one would be a wonderful one. So I want you to know.
Okay.
I'm enjoying it. Now let's talk a little bit about the subject of the day. The subject of the day is really not marijuana. It's kratom. Kratom. Let me pull out my papers on this. Because I did a bunch of reading. Mitragyna speciosa. It's a tree. Kratom is a tree native to Southeast Asia, specifically Thailand, Malaysia, Indonesia, Borneo. The botanical name, Mitragyna speciosa. It's in the same family as the coffee tree, you guys, and supposedly has been used as an herbal drug for thousands of years in Southeast Asia. Now, just in general, I'm always interested in holistic treatments that have been used for hundreds and thousands of years. The teas are a big deal. I learned a lot about the teas from my Latino and Asian co-workers, and they let me know a lot about the teas. So when things have a long history, I'm interested. I'm interested because I saw a documentary too on Netflix about this, and then I did some reading and found out that for a minute people were trying to really put restrictions on this. Because they were trying to put up restrictions on this, it caused me to go online and buy like 200 capsules of the two main types ahead of.
Wow.
So I went on, so just so you can see what it looks like. I don't know if you can see that video.
Yeah, they can see. The closer you get, the better it is. But I can see it. See the color, everything.
So
very good.
These are the capsules. Now, it's a leaf. They have a variety of forms, even though when you read on it, it looks like the different forms are basically a matter of how they process it. But it's basically for the most part, the same tree. Kratom's been getting, it's been used for years as a natural relaxer, pain reliever, those kinds of things. And so I was very interested. I was interested too because now that I've had my back surgery and I don't have that sciatica anymore, thank God that's gone. But I do have my regular muscle spasms that I've had for years, which are there since I've been incapacitated for a while. So I got a lot of rehabbing to do. I also have the additional problem as I got older that I could not take Advil. I was having issues with my kidney function, and so I had to let Advil kind of go. So I was looking for a pain reliever other than Tylenol, which I do use. And so this seemed to be interesting because along with the pain relief, it was supposed to have some psychoactive components. It's actually got most of its notoriety recently because people have been touting it as a means of reducing their opioid addiction. As you know, there's a big issue right now with addiction to opioids.
Right.
And many people, when you go online, are touting kratom as the drug that got them, off of opiates. I just went and did a quick search at YouTube, and I was amazed at the kind of things that you found. The people who were talking about it, people who were testifying, about it. But there's a lot of folks on here, people talking about using it, how they've used it. And so I decided it was worth a try. So far, after I used it a couple days, what I mostly experienced was good sleep. So there's a whole issue with the dose,
Right.
how much to take, and those kinds of things. But I'm only taking it. Remember, I have different goals. My goals are to replace the Advil, because for me, every morning was like 800 of Advil, and then 3 extra strength Tylenols. That was like my morning cocktail. So having to let the Advil go, I want to exercise more, and I'm pretty good about pushing through, the pain. Because one thing rehab really means painful exercises. That's what rehab is. That's why people don't want to rehab. That's why when they say you did a great rehab, that means you were willing to get up every day and do painful exercises.
Right.
So that my desire from the kratom was to have a little less pain
Right.
as I go into the exercises and see what that would do.
Right.
Even though I'm willing to push through with the pain on the exercises, I want to see if it can relieve it to some degree, replace the Advil. Now, but in terms of the other uses, I went and looked at the current, the regular medical resources, and they basically say they have nothing to report yet. No good studies. Things have yet to be documented. They just indicate what some of the people are reporting. And that it is being used by many to reduce their drug and opiate use.
So there's no official confirmation. This
There's
is just
no
mine.
official confirmation yet. I went to my usual drug resources, and including the National Institutes of Health,
Right.
and so they just don't have anything to say about it yet.
Okay.
Which is part of the reason why I went on and bought it from a reputable source.
Right.
I went on and stocked up on it to a degree just in case. So, like I
But-
said, I bought a bunch of capsules. I got two bags of it.
But you're giving it a soft endorsement.
Now, I'm not giving any endorsement yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. I have to try to find the proper dose, and then remember, I want it just to help me relieve some of the back muscle pain,
Got it.
and that's all I want. So we'll see. I know one thing: I slept. I slept good. I slept great.
Yeah. Yeah. That. Hey, look. Most people don't realize how lack of sleep, is crazy.
Lack of sleep is a big deal.
Yes, it is.
So everybody, the word is still out. I'll let you know. It wasn't expensive. I think 200. Well, I guess depends on the way you look at it. A pack of 210. I always wonder where they get these numbers from, Vic. Why not 215?
Right. Right.
But 210 capsules was like $105. Why not 107?
Wow. Yay. Okay. Okay. I mean,
You think
look,
that's expensive?
it's all relative. Yeah, okay. At what I give you a relative because I don't know. At what point for you does good wine get too expensive?
That's a good point. That's an excellent point from a non-drinker. That's an excellent point from a non-drinker, everybody. Everybody, marijuana for dummies.
Times are a-changing, but some things stay the same. You start each morning with a cup of coffee every day. Maybe hit the snooze, turn on the local news, but nothing good comes from a one-sided point of view. Marijuana for dummies. Come for the info, stay for the reefer. Marijuana for dummies. Come for the info and stay for the reefer.
All right, y'all.
Spring snows have drifted into April.
Nice
We'll be coming
transition.
back. Thank you, buddy. Coming back with some sports, right?
Yep.
All right.
There's nothing left to keep me hanging around. Still, you got me thinking maybe I should stay. Your letter lies folded on the table. My clothes lie folded on the chair. I'm usually gone by now, but I'm not able to forget the smell of moonlight in your hair. And if you're rooting for your part, and if you want me to stay, and if you'll take this all wounded heart, and if you say I can stay, I'll stay. A white mist has risen off the river, and all the birds have taken to the sky. I have no urgent message to deliver. I have no reasons, only alibis. The moonlight has left us both in ribbons. I wonder if I'm really worth the fight. I fess up, I surrender, I lay down your bed of roses, keep up for the night. And if you're rooting for your part, and if you want me to stay, and if you'll take this all wounded heart, and if you say I can stay, I'll stay. The fire is burning on the hillside. The fever is breaking over snow. I'm losing things I've taken pains to hide. Still, you've got me thinking maybe I won't go. There's really nothing left to give you. The best was gone so long ago. I can't forget the reasons I still love you, even though I've never told you so. And if you're rooting for your part, and if you want me to stay, and if you'll take this all wounded heart, and if you say I can stay, I'll stay. Still, you got me thinking maybe I should stay. You got me saying I should stay.
Yes.
Still, you got me thinking I should stay. You got me thinking I should stay. Stay with me. You got me thinking I should stay. Stay with me. You got me. Stay. Stay with me. You got me thinking maybe I should stay.
The song entitled "You've Got Me."
You got me stay. I should stay.
The artist, formerly known as Romancito, another track by Love Shadow. Wow, I love that track.
Yeah, that's smooth, man.
And remember, you get all this music for free. That's why we get to use it on the air because of all the copyright issues. We get to use this music live on the air, and that's why we proudly feature on all our broadcasts Creative Commons music. You can Google it, Creative Commons. You can go by the Creative Commons website. You can also go to their music outlet, dig.ccmixter.org. You can Google Love Shadow, the music artist, and go check out his tracks and download, as I did, 20 or 30 of them. He's got some incredible stuff. Hey, Vic, you ready to talk about some sports?
Yeah, everybody's about to brace out and go to the kitchen now, man, so I'm good.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time. Victor Allen's new sports. Brought to you by the Bald-Headed Black Man. Rub his head and make a wish. The ladies have nicknamed him Sexual Chocolate. It's the kind of sport you will love. Everybody, here's Vic. Yeah, sports, people.
What's up, man? What's up? Okay, tell me something, man. What was the number one sporting event that caught your attention? You just hands down said, I can't get enough of it. Over the weekend. Nothing, right?
Nothing.
See, that's jacked up. That's why the sports doesn't get, because you have
Football
you have to be a
well,
partnership in this, man. You have to be able to go, man, you know what? I can't get enough of that sport.
You know, and I'm part of the whole boycott thing, even though I sneak and watch like the sport reviews, and, you know, like
right.
the summaries, because, you know, I still have some of y'all talking about I got boycotted. Well, you didn't watch no sports anyway.
right.
Like, you give it up on something you didn't even do. Like, if I have to give up something, I'll struggle and give up tofu.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So let me just say this. All right. I'm staying away from those who are going to say, hey, let me find a reason to hate. I think the magic wand is when people actually can direct you to a position and say, you should not like them. And then you actually follow suit. So I'm going to stay away from that, man. I'm going to start mine off with something a little bit different, because I believe there's a world where sports will evolve. And I'm not saying it's going to go in the direction and be more popular in this. But I've been checking out this particular program that started, I think, somewhat close to 20 years ago. Didn't know it. And I guess the part that I was getting at is that I had to ask myself, would I watch a show that's considered either nerd spot or nerd sport or battle tech? And it's battle bots. Now, I don't know, Mario, if you have ever seen any of the commercials, if you ever watched it, but it's been in existence. It popped out about 1999, went away like at 2001, came back several years later, been picked up, and is gaining steam. Now, okay, here's my question. These are smart engineers who are putting together this equipment to go out and battle in the ring. Is that just a nerd sport? Is it a sport? Or is it doesn't qualify whatsoever for any, don't use the word sport.
Well, to me, it doesn't have to be a sport in the traditional sense. As we move into the future, one day when you have sports being played by cyborgs or robots,
Right.
we'll probably have the same thing. But it certainly is entertainment
Yeah.
and competition. So there you go. So it's entertainment, it's competition. So it's head to head.
And it's not just men.
And it's not just men.
And it's not age.
There's nerdy women.
Come on, man. Wait a minute. Young, I mean, you see parents with their young kids. They could be 11, 12, 13. And the part that is, this thing costs. Because when you're getting destroyed, you're literally in a tournament where you have to keep coming back to battle the next. So there's some rip them up, tear them up, situations where it's costing you. So I just don't think this sport is at the part where people can really afford it and it becomes normalized that way. But I can tell you this, it got me. Now, does that say I'm a nerd? No, what it says is that I took for granted, it's shot here in LA. It's shot here in L.A.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you just
That
a
means
little.
we might get a chance to attend.
All right. So the journey, to give you guys an idea of the journey it takes, man, to get to the point where you get financing for this, because they got to do a lot to put this together. And they have this whole, it's like NASCAR. You know, once you're out there, you get destroyed, you go back in this pit and you're putting together the best you can. So what you're seeing here is the number one ranked right now this year BattleBot called Tombstone. He's with the blue wheels. He's got this blade, man. No matter who comes in there, it just wreaks havoc. So they have a tournament that's going on. So you'll see me periodically reporting on this. But Tombstone is no joke. He's just simple. And I think the blade itself may be somewhere around 75 pounds. So when you look at this, you think they're really small. They're not really small. I think there's a weight limit at 250 pounds. So let me give you a little background on this. BattleBots is an American robot combat television series. Competitors design and operate remote-controlled armed machines designed to fight in an arena combat elimination tournament. For 5 seasons, BattleBot aired on the American Comedy Central. Now, figure this out. It's
Comedy
on.
Central?
Thank you. That's what I said.
And we didn't even know.
Right. I couldn't relate with, so they were finding a spot for it. Okay. A 6-episode revival series premiered on ABC in 2015. Generally favorable reviews and ratings. Additionally, ABC renewed BattleBots for a 7th season, which premiered in 2016 in June. In February 2018, Discovery Channel and Science picked up the show for its 8th season, which began airing May 11, 2018. What's happening is gaining momentum. So to give you an idea of what turned out to be nerd, one of these battles hit YouTube, and I forgot who it was. I'm bad on this. I think it was Blacksmith and probably Tombstone, and they had 100 million views.
Wow, 100 million.
One battle now. That's not talking about, because if you guys want to watch it, it happens on Wednesdays. They start airing it, all the episodes around, I think about early afternoon, all the way up through 10 p.m. This is me just saying this, that it didn't matter that it was a sport. Is it better to just call it battle tech? Is it more appropriate? Yeah, I'm just asking you, man. I just want to see if you understand.
I like BattleBots.
You like that?
I think they're robots. They
Right.
battle. It's simple.
Right.
Catchy.
Right.
And it is what it is. Just make sure you have some bulletproof glass
Right.
around this.
They crack glass.
Because you would think that they would have projectiles flying off.
They do.
High velocity.
Yes, they do. And then they have, I won't give it all away, but they do have what they call time limit, 3-minute battles. But then they have what they call the house hammers and saws that pop up from the floor. So if you go over a certain area, while you're winning, you may be losing because the houses don't come in this area. So they have all this built in. If you want to check out a link to some of the names, I put a link there. It's battlebots.com. It has the robots. So when you see on the webpage, it'll take you straight to it. But I'm going to see if Mario has a favorite in name. I'll list some names and see if you could relate with what names that represents your style. Tombstone, Bronco, Bite Force, Ice Wave, Monsoon, Yeti, Minotaur, Blacksmith, Brutus, Endgame, Sawblade. We'll see how good you are.
Well, Minotaur, is Greek mythology with the head of a
You like Minotaur?
bull and then the body of a...
Right. Minotaur is the smallest, almost the smallest, who took Tombstone to task. They were like the battle that everyone wanted to see last year. It is smaller. So you picked a favorite, man. Pretty good. You did good. I mean, Minotaur, it's a Brazilian group. They come up here, they've been battling, everybody's going after Tombstone. So I just want you guys to know, if you ever want to check this out, I'll give it battle tech. I'm not going to qualify it as a sport yet. Yeah, that's it, man. So, okay, got that out of the way. You'll see me reporting on that throughout the season because they're in the playoffs in the Sweet 16 now. All right, it's time to go to NFL, man, because, Mario's favorite place is when somebody steps up and speaks and they say something that's so prophetic and it makes you feel like that's the kind of guy that will be good on a Pack Stereo team. So I'm going to go with the NFL player whose voice, to me, was the voice of the week, and that's Earl Thomas, safety at the the Seattle Seahawks. Sunday began with reports that multiple teams, including his opponent, the Dallas Cowboys, were interested in opening trade talks with Seattle Seahawks for Earl Thomas's service. It ended up with Thomas telling reporters that he doesn't plan to practice for the Seahawks if he doesn't feel like it. Mario, at that point, right there, without saying anything else, if somebody says, you work in the medical profession and you did work, and then saying, you know what? If I don't feel like coming to work, I'm not going to do it.
Well, I mean, there are those occupations where you determine, your worthiness for the combat. That's typical for.
I got you.
In some professions, that's standard.
Right.
Baseball with pitchers and all this kind of stuff.
You going there?
They decide what and sometimes the people who are making the decisions. Let's face it, they're not making it in your best interest. They're making it in their best interest. So this, to me, if you have the luxury of being able to control your world,
right,
then certainly I would be looking out for my best interests.
And let me just do this. See, we have to call Mario endgame. He knows the end game. Here's the quote. He says, I need to make sure my body's 100% and I'm investing in myself. Also, if they were invested in me, I would be out there practicing, Thomas said, per the Seattle Times. But if I feel like I have anything, even if it's something small, if I got a headache, I'm not practicing. But I don't want that to be taken the wrong way. I know I'll get fined. This man is trying to
Bravo.
He's trying to get the hell out of Seattle. That's, to me, what he's doing.
Bravo.
And he said this mostly around the team he's been courting, the Cowboys.
Right. He just had a nice interception.
Right.
Picked it up. He has great hands.
Yeah.
Hands like a receiver.
The man he's at look, the Legion of Boom is gone. Everybody's gone. He needs to get his up. He's from the Texas area, so he's trying to get out. And I think this is just his way of doing it. So, yeah, you got to leverage what you can. But he is good, man. He's around the ball all the time. All right. Now let's go over to the hottest topic. I'm going to let Mario sit back and I'm going to read these off, and you tell me which one you want to touch upon first. Because I just believe there's some certain ones in here, man, that, without being obvious, we can't say nothing bad about the LA Rams. They've been in power rankings for a week now. They have good defense. They good offense. Now let's go to the other topic. Mario is a true, I'm not going to tell you which team, true fan on one of these teams. Gruden's Raiders are perfect. They're tied for the worst record. Belichick's Patriots limping loss to winless Lions. I don't care how injured some of the Patriots players are. It's hard to you lose against a winless team that really hasn't played.
It showed real weakness.
Yes, it did.
It unveiled there's a bunch of real weaknesses there.
Yeah. Or winless Pittsburgh Steelers as Le'Veon Bell now. Pittsburgh has decided to shop him. So he played his cards. Antonio Brown, is he following? And if that's the case, you're taking your 1-2 punch out of Pittsburgh. They're technically winless at this moment. I don't think they won it. I have to check. It's bad on me, you guys. My bad. At this point, do you think losing both those players, because all of a sudden Antonio Brown is frustrated, do you invest in Pittsburgh and say, hey, this is just the early season. They'll be back on top at the end?
Well, I think certain ones have more likely to improve. I think that Pittsburgh and New England will improve throughout the year and gel and get the most out of their situations because of good coaching, they tend to get the best out of the situation. So I don't think I don't think you'll see the Patriots look like that again this year.
Yeah, they got some players. They got some people who know the timing routes of Tom Brady, and it's just hard when you can't replace those. And Gronk already showing that he's still going to be Gronk.
They have trouble with who they're passing to getting separation.
I'm not worried about their offense. I just don't think their defense is up to par yet.
Their defense isn't up to par.
Yeah. But
I still expect them to, at least based on the coaching and stuff and making adjustments, to do better.
Right.
Now, Buffalo, I don't know. Before this game, they look like the worst.
So what happened?
They beat Minnesota. That's what happened. They crushed
them.
Crushed them. So that makes I'm confused already this season because Buffalo looked like the worst team in the league
Right.
for a minute there.
Right.
And now they beat Minnesota, who shows some cracks again.
Right.
So I don't know. And I don't know, same thing, I don't know what to say about the Raiders. I think the Raiders, okay, I'm willing to put them with the other group.
All right.
I expect them to look better through the year.
Right.
I do. I expect
agree.
them to look better. But I don't know about Buffalo.
Right. Hey, look, I'm going to say this. Let me just say this. I put the records and standings there so you can compare. I always go, early games are dictated by a number of factors. The ones that tend to always show the truth is how many points you give up. Minnesota comes from being like the top defense comparable to Jacksonville last year and Philadelphia. They're giving up more points now than they're scoring. In their case, Keenum is not in there, of course. They got their new boy out of Washington, Cousins. So the issue to me is, did they take Buffalo for granted? It was going like this team, because they were
It's kind of
dogging.
easy to take it for granted.
But okay, is that then you're not a championship team, because then you're taking them for granted.
Well,
right?
I'm just saying, they're obviously
Right.
there's some flaws going around.
Right.
And there's been a shift in the hierarchy
Okay.
where you now have the Miami Dolphins leading in their conference. So that's a whole shift that everybody.
Okay. You just hit the nail. You like Miami, man?
Well, I'm just saying they look how they are looking,
Right.
you know. And then the other things are, you know, Pittsburgh doesn't. Well, let's just say
Yeah.
since what a week, you know,
Right. Go and say it, man.
it's a week. I don't know. I don't expect much from the AFC North. Kansas City's looking good.
Right.
So, you know, that's where it looks to me, like Kansas City,
Right. Okay. I'm gonna go back to the one that.
Miami, I guess.
How many games? You're a Raiders fan?
No,
You're a Rams fan?
no,
Chargers fan?
no.
Are you a junior college fan? Dude.
Which one?
Okay, you got to be okay.
Southwest.
Yeah, what's up?
West LA.
What's up, man? Hey, West LA. Hey, that's fam. Okay, all right. How many games can Gruden lose and everything stay cool? All right, he's 0-3 or 0-3. How many more games can he lose before they start going, okay, $100 million man?
I think they're going to give him time no matter what.
How many games can he lose? Can he go to 0 and what? Because, dude, I'm telling you, $100 million man, and you gave away Khalil Mack?
0-4.
One more game, right?
Yeah, he can't go too many O's.
Right.
You got to beat somebody.
You see, now you're doing it.
They got to beat somebody. No matter who you are, they're going to talk.
Right.
I
See,
don't care who you are. You can be
see?
Belichick.
If somebody gives you $100 million, are they saying that you're the exception? Well, wait.
They're investing in you.
I want you to know what's happening here, Mario. I think it's like this. Buffalo was getting hit with, this is the worst performance of professionals on the field in the last couple of weeks. The coach is getting $100 million, probably cost the total amount of the salary of the team of Buffalo. And guess who has a better record? Buffalo.
It's one thing to lose, and it's one thing to lose in a fashion where you just look like you're incompetent.
Right.
That's a bigger deal. Some of these blowouts
Showtime.
are ridiculous.
Right.
They're blowouts. How do you get a blowout?
Right. So here's what we're going to monitor. Pittsburgh is Pittsburgh. Buffalo may fall back down. We don't know. But we're doing the Gruden watch, right? So we're going to come back
We
here.
are doing the Gruden watch because first of all, it's the Oakland Raiders.
Right.
So, you know, for us here on the West Coast, that's a big damn deal anyway.
Thank you. Gruden watch right
The
now.
Rams look like the team that's going to the Super Bowl.
Their favorite power ranking right now is performance week by week.
Yeah, the Rams.
They're up there. Philadelphia has to wait till they get their motor running
Well, the
with
Rams
wins.
versus Philly, that's going to be like
Yeah.
part of the.
It's a rematch. They played last year.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go over to the celebration where you always come back home. And you know, you come back home after 5 years. See, I knew you was going to do that, man. You supposed to show love, bro. You come back home. Tiger Woods gets that monkey off his back And I'm going to say, do you believe Jack Nicklaus is the words to listen to when he says, let me comment on this? You believe he has those type of impact when he says, let me
Well,
tell you.
he's certainly a credible figure.
Right. Okay. Now,
I don't know what was his comment.
his comment is, he first says his congratulations on winning the playoff finale. He's very happy for him and extremely proud of him. Tiger has worked very hard to hit this place and has played very well all season. Now, this is the quote that Jack has said. I never dreamed Tiger Woods would come back and swing the way he has after surgery. I think you could argue he's swinging better than he has ever in his life. He has played fantastically. Now, that's coming from the guy right now that's still hailed as the Rushmore, Mount Rushmore. So, if he says he looks like he's swinging better, Tiger's 2 wins away from the all-time tour victories of 82. He's at 80. Do you see a comeback in full bloom, or this just one of those, I got here, but there's going to be a lull again?
Well, first of all, congratulations to Tiger for even doing this. He once again reaffirmed his greatness. Like any of us, he has to age.
Right.
If you're lucky.
Right.
And I said before that as he ages, typically for most people, you still have moments of greatness.
Right.
But on a consistent level, you see a decline.
Right.
So to me, this is one of those blips
Okay.
of greatness. While he continues to age, you celebrate it.
Right.
It's wonderful, but I don't think you can expect it to be a trend. And if he does turn it into a trend, God bless him.
He is, each week is playing better and better, from last year, because he tried to come in right after the surgery, which was hard. But I think that's him going, I can do this. And now he's consistently showing what he can do. Now, if he gets 83 or 84 tour victories, is he the greatest of all time?
Well, I think one would argue he's almost the greatest of all time already. But I'm not a golf enthusiast. I don't know the history.
Right.
But certainly in terms of what he did for golf, even though admittedly he was around in the time of social media,
Right.
television, and those things. And obviously
Right.
that contributes to making golf
Right.
more of a known sport, more of a central figure. So.
Yeah, you watch it more because of him. They needed
Yeah.
him, and he has that kind of impact. Okay, cool. We're gonna watch. I do believe he'll win a couple. I think they'll measure him when he wins one of the big 4 or 2 of the big 4. The other tournaments he can win, but they're gonna measure him on the Masters, the British, the Open, and so forth and so on. All right, I want to give some love because there's this battle between East Coast and West Coast. It just happened over the weekend. Watch this game, and it's they've been clashing about which state produces the best players: Texas, Florida, or Cali. Well, number 1 ranked in the nation, IMG Academy out of Bradenton, Florida, played Mater Dei, number 3 over the weekend. And let me just say this. When you look at the size of the IMG players, the running back was like 6'3", 225.
This is high school?
High school, dude. Look at he's doing what I'm doing. You doing what I'm doing. When I looked at this team, the quarterback is like 6'4", 220, whatever. They ran for 350. It couldn't be stopped. Now, Mater Dei knew how to outcoach them in schemes. But if you're just talking about watching a team that's in high school, this quarterback, I think his name is Trey. All I know is this: I just never seen somebody make a number 3 ranked team just run through them. I was going like, this is going to be a blowout. But Mater Dei passing team knew how to overcome this. It takes longer to score on the ground most of the time than it is to pass. So I want to give props up. Now, does that mean now IMG Academy is going like we're coming in to take off that perch from Mater Dei, who was number 1 in the nation last year? So number 3 is Mater Dei, which will go up in rankings. But guess who the number 2 team is? St. John Bosco. St. John is Cali. So you got 2nd and 3rd ranked teams probably going to meet up as the nation best for the title. Want to give it up and say, I don't know if the East Coast can represent this time unless it gets thrown into whack. meaning that one of the teams, Mater Dei St. John Bosco, when they meet, which more than likely they will because they're in the same area, there will be a launching of a new number one. And will they retain it? And then the case may be, is West Coast holding the title? Because right now, we're the reigning champions in National Prep Football from last year. So Mario, when you saw that picture of IMG Academy, did you think it was college?
Yeah.
That's a big son of a, oops, let me stop. So I just want to give out props, you guys. That's it. No more new sports for me. I'm done. I'm just going to take you out. It's been a good day, man. Gruden watches on all day, man. All day.
Peter Allen's new sports. His own unique fan base view of sports and a recurring segment of the Morning Cup with Mario show. You can check it out here every Monday. Written, produced by Victor Allen. Get to know him. Rub his head, make a wish. All part of the experience here at Pack Stereo TV. Yes. All right. Coming up next, Hot Picks. Get ready. Get your robe open. It's time for Hot Picks.
You already, man? This is the closeout section, man. This is the one where, you know, Mario smiles more.
I got my robe open.
He smiles more all day, man. He smiles
Hey, man,
more.
they'll pile it into the Facebook. On my side, we got Ben and Tracy and
Right.
Michael and Redren,
All right.
and Jupiter.
right.
What's happening, everybody?
Want to give up love to my Live Me, Big Ol' Live family, Twitch, Periscope, and I got my Instagram. I know you guys are going, what the hell is it? I said, well, you'll see later. Hey, check it out, man. This is, this is going to be a topic that I'm not. First of all, let me just say this. I call this respect to pageant nation, because I believe when you're in the control of the narrative, you do what you do, because this is not a democracy. This is your business. And if your business is that the ladies are saying we're going to change segments in there. I have all.
So what you're basically saying is that
No,
they're getting rid of the bathing
Wait a
suit
minute.
competition, you guys. And as a man, I'm saying
Wait.
I can't look at beautiful women in
Wait a
bathing
minute.
suits.
But what you know what?
Come on, man.
What we're gonna do is this. First, I'm gonna give respect to it because here's the part that I'm getting at. I think there's this bigger narrative that they're trying to push because we're only talking about Miss America, right? So what I'm gonna do is this first. I'm paying homage to what we call maybe the last of seeing what we call swimwear, bathing suit, bikinis, whatever you want to call it. But I'm not just putting in what they call people who are just resigned to Miss America. I believe that if it's proven to be successful over here, and it's, hugely successful, the push is going to affect other pageants. Namely, the biggest one, Miss Universe. So what I decide to do is say, let's just do some respect, some applause to what we call women of color who donned themselves in pageants, including Miss America, including Miss Universe, and we just want to pay respect. And we're going to come back, Mario, because I think there's a twist to this where I say everything runs around me based on the economics, and I think people change when that happens.
Well, I am a man. If I can't look at pictures of beautiful women, that's like just not fair.
I understand, but you could always go look at them
Gee.
somewhere else, right?
Tell me what I got to look at. Where you gonna force us to Pornhub again?
Right. Well, I'm just starting you off just to show here. This is just what I call my thumb of representing the bikini shot here. So I'm going right to this to say, hey, look, we're starting off as my thumb waving goodbye to swimsuit Miss America. Canada, oh Canada, this is all you're getting right now. You're just getting a moment where you could sit back and say, this is something that you may be going, no more will I see this again, only with Miss America. So you got your moment there. So Mario, we're gonna take you down a little bit of memory lane, okay? And see, can you handle not seeing women don in certain outfits? And would you be a man that says, I can wash them in gowns, I can wash them in dresses? You're that kind of man that
Yeah, I
supports.
can, but I'd rather see the.
Okay, let me just go. Let's go take you back to 2012. Roll it up. We're going to take you to somebody who name is Leila Lopes, Miss Universe 2012. So notice what I'm doing here. I'm saying, yes, the swimsuit, the swimwear, but as opposed to everyone else, I get to show her, well, hey, look, I'm showing her in the gown as well. So you now have to go, you will not be able to see this again with Miss America. If it's moving in the direction it's going to now.
Not fair.
They are having an internal fight with a lot of the people there, so I'm not into that.
What do you think, Ben?
Don't leave Ben alone, man. All right, going to take it down to the next memory lane, one of Mario's favorites. They say sometimes Mario looks for his ex and he says, Nana. It's Miss America, Nana, Meriwether 2012. What did you say? Wait a minute.
That's just unfair.
Wait a minute.
That's unfair.
What did you just say, man? Did you say the word with the
I
S?
said it saved me $10.
Wait a minute.
That picture saved me 10.
If you guys want to know what he said, roll this back and then just listen to what he said. I know it's a struggle, isn't it? No, I just want you to know it's no more is coming no more at Miss America. All right.
All the blood rushes from my head and I faint.
Right. Right. I got you.
Sarah Lynn's in the book. It's bad, Sarah. It's bad.
It's okay. Hey, look, you know
Boys
what?
being bad.
You're allowed to reminisce. Gonna take you even further back now. She became greater after this. This is a part where you go, you forgot about Kenya Moore was Miss Universe in 1993. She's not known for the bikini or swimwear shots back then. She is known for how she looked after, and she ran with it. Actually, a lot of people would say she got hotter.
She looked pretty good here.
Yeah, right.
Big hair and stuff.
Representing Michigan, right?
Go on, Michigan.
Okay, so now, right now, Mario's self-contained. I also said, let me take you to another theme because I've always wanted to see somebody represent this. Let's take you over to the place that everybody likes to vacation now and then. It's called Jamaica. Miss Jamaica, Davina Bennett, 2017 Miss Universe.
Child. Your boy.
Universe contestant. So I want to know, Mario, make sure they can all see the whole outfit. I'm not sure if it's on display, but what stands out about her, believe it or not, is the afro.
Yeah, she got the big hair.
She actually wanted to say, let me don the afro, which you and I both know this. In beauty contestant pageants that are not specifically urban or, black, you just usually don't see African American women or women of color wear afros. They tend to stay away from it. I applaud her because she went there with this. I love this picture, man. Now, can I appreciate this if she's wearing a dress or a gown? What about you, Mark? Can you appreciate it?
I can stick with this.
You can stick with this. You like this, right?
I like the earring.
Okay.
I like to see the knees.
Okay. You know what? You stay
Hers
away.
look a little dark.
Okay. All right. Let me do this now. Like I said, women of color. And you'll get where I'm connecting this to. Hiwat Bekele Mamo, Miss Ethiopia 2014. She, of course, is going to compete, or has, in Miss Universe. So I tried to give you a full spill, if you haven't seen her before. I get a nice little middle close-up. There's the gown. But now you have to turn around and say, you will not see that bikini or swimwear out. That's going to be gone. But that's not Miss Universe.
Makes you want to travel. What do you say, PMC?
Right.
Get a ticket.
You're right. You're
Give
wrong.
me a ticket.
They're just wrong. So, coming back to it, I'm just letting you know. There's a reason why I'm showing Miss Universe references. You'll see where I'm going. Going to take you to the next. I always say, sometimes when you're on stage, you don't have to be. You could just be bronzed. And Yasmin Cook, Miss Bahamas 2017. Unbelievable outfit. Okay? Unbelievable outfit. Now, you're going to say, how come or why am I not showing her as a regular on the stage during the runway with a bikini wear? Some photos, unfortunately, just don't give you the close-up. And a lot of times, maybe this is it. Maybe a lot of the women in these contestants go like, I'm not promoting the swimwear. I'm promoting my mind. Mar, you got a problem with that?
That's when I start watching more sports.
See, that's what I'm saying. So maybe, look.
The NBA, bring back the NBA.
Bring back the NBA. So here's what I'm doing. I'm literally doing this. I gave you a mixture of Miss America, some contestants, and I'm really going to this point. Do you believe, Mario, and this is where I'm going. Okay, what's the ultimate prize? Miss America or Miss Universe? Which one is the one that's the ultimate goal? That you're the most beautiful in your nation or the most beautiful on the planet? Isn't it obvious?
Well, obviously the planet.
Okay, here's my question.
But for that local group,
Okay, here's my question, and it's a common sense question. Every Miss America enters themselves in the Miss Universe contest, right?
I guess.
Let's just take it for granted.
Take it for granted.
All right. But they have to qualify in all the norms. How do you get Miss America into Miss Universe if there's no more swim contests where Miss Universe says we still do swim contests? How do you get them in there?
Well, I don't know. You have to have a private audition.
Should
I'm
it?
not in favor of that because
Right. So
it'll be some scandalous shit. Scandalous.
So wait a minute.
Y'all better figure this out.
Right. Just see. I want to know.
Meanwhile,
I can tell you this.
Pornhub.
If the women who are competing in other countries are going, we have to walk across the runway, swimwear, bikini wear, and everything. So Miss America doesn't have to if they want to be in Miss Universe? Is that being biased? Or do you not automatically qualify? And here's my suggestion. Why can't they have the segment in Miss America? They said it's not required to wear swimwear, but you can choose an outfit of your own. So if they choose gowns, if they choose pajamas, if they choose...
That's a good idea.
And that way, at least you can go, well, hey,
That's
look.
a good idea.
Because it's going to be biased.
Not as good as the bathing suit,
Right.
but that's a good idea.
Yeah. And let them choose. Because this is what I'm waiting for. When the first Miss America, under the new leadership, enters the Miss Universe, I want to know what the criteria is when they are not required to wear swimwear. Where Miss Universe, please tell me. Please tell me. I see bullshit flying everywhere. I'm serious.
I retain the right to focus on women as a sexual object.
Oh no!
I just seek to do it in an appropriate manner.
You know, Mario.
But I am. How you gonna make us not love women in bathing suits?
No.
We would love them to see them naked.
I think the show.
I'm not saying you should have a show, but
I think the show.
I would tune in.
I think they're going like this. Not that men are not important. They're going. The focus is that we'll be even more successful with women in inclusion who are not necessarily looking like us, but maybe more talented.
Well, I think
talented.
one thing I will say, Vic, the key would be to make sure you include women in the planning.
Right.
To make sure that things work out in a way so that it doesn't so that they can profit. You know.
Absolutely. See,
that kind of thing. Let it be more fair.
Right.
With women inclusive, but on the other hand, give me what I need.
Okay. So here
you get my drift.
All right, yeah, I get it. So here's what I'm looking for. I'm all for supporting where the money goes. If they start losing money and the ratings and everything, everybody's going to find that there's going to be a slow changing of the guard. You may be less, but you'll still be, powerful, but less. If you go more, then they're going to try to have this doctrine everywhere. My question, I'm watching this. Please tell me the qualifications for Miss Universe. And if you leave out
some of these things are old. But I guess they got to look at Mr. Universe at the same time and all of it, and then it will be cool.
Have you ever seen a show recently with Mr. Universe?
I don't watch Mr. Universe.
Dude, I'm
sure there are those of you who do.
I don't even think they have a cable show with
Probably
that.
Christina.
Oh, that's cool, man. That's cool. Let's go. You
Christina, you watch Mr. Universe contest.
You know what they do. First of all,
Sarah Lynn might tune in.
Wait a minute. How many women will admit that they watch and look at muscle bound men?
I know Sarah probably tuned in.
No.
From watching some.
All right. Hey, look. Mar, you want to do a quick? Who's your favorite?
Well, here we go.
Go
we
to the top.
with.
Yeah, who's your? That's the thumbprint. You can just start with it.
Okay, so.
You can start with it. I mean, we're paying homage because we may not see this again. With
Bad. That's Layla Lopes.
Yes.
Then Nana.
Nana. Right.
Nana. In Kenya.
Right.
Back in the day.
Yep.
This is Davina Bennett.
That afro was working it, man.
Go on, Davina.
Yeah, working it.
And then Miss Ethiopia. Hiwat Bikele Mamo.
Yes.
Bikele. And Yasmin Cook.
Yasmin Cook. Who's your favorite, man? You can get a 1 and 2. Just paying homage to. I already know
See,
one.
I'm thinking about my children.
Yeah, see, here we go.
Thinking about my children.
Thinking about his children, you guys.
That's why you say, oh.
Okay.
Oh.
See, I already know.
See, she's bad too.
All right, I already know what.
So they all bad, I must admit it. So it's between Nana.
I already said Nana was
and
yours.
Hiwat.
Hiwat. All right, good for you, man.
I think.
Right.
Because I'm thinking about my children.
Yeah, of course you are.
Hiwat, I guess.
Okay, all right. Hey, look. Gotta go. I gotta go. Davina Bennett, when she wore that afro, it just knocked it out the block for me. Then I like Nana as well. Yeah, I like Nana.
Nana, where's Nana? Let's go look. Nana, bring it down. We get her home. Smitty needs to see this. I had to shrink it down.
Oh, stop.
Smitty, I want you to be able to see all this. Worried about you. I want you to see this.
I have a comment for Smitty, but I can't say it.
So there you go in the entirety.
Yes.
Hips that sink ships.
Okay, we're gonna keep him away from. He's made a decision. No more.
Oh.
That's it, man.
Think about my children.
All right, you guys. I had this hot picks. That was it, man. Gotta go. It's been a blast, man. It was fun.
Pack Stereo TV.
Yeah.
Victor Allen's hot picks.
Yeah.
Give it up.
It's a done deal, man.
Say hey. Well, we want to thank you for tuning in. It's been the first show of the year. Had a few technical difficulties, mainly because I forgot to hit the button. But you know, the brain is the third thing to go.
Right.
So you got to understand. Be here tomorrow night. Quiet Storm. I'm going to have some good music for you. If you can, get some company. Get you some company. And join us in the Quiet Storm. I want to thank everybody in the chat room. Sarah Lynn, PMC, Smitty, Christina, all y'all, all the people, Candace, man,
First off, I'm not your regular dude. I bust moves like a young MC. Yeah, sorta, that would be me. Got me thinking about putting down the mic one day. Then I get some old love. Thanks for the love you gotta play. Hey, what can I say? I'm a Leo to the finish, man. I love God, so my faith won't diminish me. Once I step up to the mic, I speak truth. Hip hop wasn't designed to exploit the black youth, but somewhere along the lines we dropped the ball. Yeah, I mean that man in the mirror, yeah, that ball dude. But now I'm back to right the wrongs of my past world. So let me walk this off my list like my name's Earl. Articulate my thoughts clearly like Professor Les. Do you remember Rap City with Deja and Les? I'm looking at the front door, bless the main source. You fool, yeah, wait till I hit you with the main course. I was spitting when you was a kid. You doing what I did, you know I still got it. Why you brag about it? I be on the solo, making my money's grow residual. I'm individual, nobody's got my DNA. I was spitting when you was a kid. You doing what I did, you know I still got it. Why you brag about it? I be on the solo, making my money's grow residual. I'm individual, nobody's got my DNA. Tribe or shit alone. You like my raps, but really I write songs. I like to do it like this once in a while to show some versatility and make you all smile. It's been a long time coming, I know. I feel it too. The more I take a break, it's like the more I break through. With my timeless space boy funk, I'm on point. You bless this microphone every time I anoint the pen, the pad. I face the bad head on. Escape inside the music, see my diary's a song and song. Till I write my next verse, then I go again into the studio. I feel I gotta flow again. This ain't just music to me, it's like my recipe. To be honest, it's more creative tranquility. This ain't just music to me, it's like my recipe. To be honest, it's more creative tranquility. I was spitting when you was a kid. You doing what I did, you know I still got it. Why you brag about it? I be on the solo, making my money's grow residual. I'm individual, nobody's got my DNA. I was spitting when you was a kid. You doing what I did, you know I still got it. Why you brag about it? I be on the solo, making my money's grow residual. I'm individual, nobody's got my DNA. They say they get me, I don't think they ever got me. My name's Kowalski, but they call me Kawasaki. Online I'm funds, but in real life I'm more like Chachi or Cola. I told you, I'm funky like granola. Bars, can't you see that I'm a star? Who pumps his own gas in the cold really fast? As I pass on your gold digging stash. I'd rather make my own money, not advance me loan money. No, I was spitting when you was a kid. You doing what I did, you know I still got it. Why you brag about it? I be on the solo, making my money's grow residual. I'm individual, nobody's got my DNA. I was spitting when you was a kid. You doing what I did, you know I still got it. Why you brag about it? I be on the solo, making my money's grow residual. I'm individual, nobody's got my DNA. So there you have it. Nobody's got my DNA. Nobody's got my DNA. Nobody's got my DNA.
Alexa, begin playlist broadcast transition.
Your playlist,
Gotta go,
Broadcast
guys.
Transition,
Blast.
on Amazon
Cool.
Music.
We out. Peace, guys.